Welcome to 42 Straight Years In, Volume 2, Part 43. On my crackhead update, I was at the 7-Eleven. It's about a block from where I live. It's on Lemon Avenue. And this lady approached me. She said she was hungry. I said, "Come on inside. I'll buy you something to eat." She said, "I'm a grown woman. I don't need nobody to buy me nothing to eat. Just give me the money and I'll buy it myself." I said, "No, it don't work that way with me. If you're hungry, you come inside. I'll pay for your food." And she said, "No, just give me the money." I said, "No, I don't give money." I said, "But I'll buy you some food." Then she told me, say, "You probably broke anyway. You ain't got no money." I said, "If that's the case, how am I gonna pay for your food? If I'm broke, how am I gonna pay for your food?" One word led to another one. I politely cursed her out, and she went over there harassing some more customers. That's my crackhead update. Y'all know what it is. Get your shanks out and let's ride. In this segment, I'm going to deal with the Texas law parties and other subjects. In my last video, I was speaking of the crime wave in Dallas, Texas, and 75% of the shootings and robberies is being committed by young black males. Somebody in the comment section, I had made a statement in reference to what Mark Cuban, the billionaire owner of the Dallas Mavericks, said. He said if he was walking down the street and he encountered 4 young black males, that he would cross over on the other side of the street. And people said that was racial. And I said in my last video, I would do the same thing. That is street smart. Because you never know what these clowns are going to try. Especially if you're unarmed. Now, if you're armed and extremely dangerous, you ain't even worried about him. You just shoot all 4 of them. But anyway, somebody in the comment section said, if I was walking down the street and encountered 4 Trump supporters with MAGA hats on, I would cross on the other side of the street. There's no Trump supporters in Dallas, Texas, robbing and killing people and carjacking. Not one is doing any of that. So if I encountered 4 Trump supporters with MAGA hats on, I would politely keep walking. Because they are not the one committing all these crimes in Dallas, Texas. Everybody want to be politically correct, and they want you to tell a bunch of lies. Now, I got to agree, the police, they shoot a lot of unarmed citizens and all. I understand all that. But I'm speaking of specifically Dallas, Texas, who committing all these murders here. It's young black males. If you encounter them at night and you don't have a weapon on you, I advise you to treat them like COVID-19 if you can. Go all the way around them. You don't never know when you're sitting at a gas station, one of these clowns trying to carjack you. Or you go in the store, they be hanging outside the stores. They can see what you're paying for your purchase with. They know if you got money or not. If they the root of the problem here in Dallas, what I'm going to say is the Chinese committing all these murders? No. Young black males committing that. 75% of it is committed by young black males. Just last night, same thing. They killed a guy. A young guy. He killed him for no reason at all. Just because he had a gun. Well, anyway, I'm going to get to the law of parties. The law of parties, chapter 701 of the Texas Penal Code, reads as follows. A person is criminally responsible as a party to an offense if the offense is committed by his own conduct by the conduct of another for which he is criminally responsible, or by both. Each party to an offense may be charged with commission of the offense. They use this quite often. The guy, Kenneth Foster, who Netflix did a documentary on. Same way, he drove the car. He received the death penalty. He didn't shoot no one, but he got the death penalty. And Governor Rick Perry commuted his sentence to life. He's eligible for parole in 2036. At the present time, he's 43 years old. He got 16 more years to go before he's eligible. Not make parole, just eligible for parole. And Charles Brooks, the first inmate executed since the reintroduction of the death penalty in Texas. He received a lethal injection on December the 7th, 1982. I was at Eastham with his fall partner, Woody Loudridge. He received a 40-year sentence, but he served 11 years and made parole. And in this case, Woody admitted that he shot the guy they had tied up and took hostage. And he was the killer, but he got a 40-year sentence and made parole. Charles Brooks did not kill the guy. He got the death penalty and received a lethal injection. He was the first inmate executed in Texas since the death penalty was reinstated. And in another case, these two guys here is my homeboys. Ronald Chambers, called him Buffalo. And his fall partner is Clarence Ray Williams, we call Ray Jr. Me and him was on the basketball team together at Eastham. Buffalo received the death penalty. Ray Jr., he received 2 lives plus 10 years. Now, Ronald Chambers, he died in the Dallas County Jail. He had got his death penalty case overturned. They found him on the floor in his cell dead. Likewise, Ray Jr., he died at the Telford unit. I don't know what the medical reason was. I can look him up. But he died at the Telford unit. Neither one of these guys got to make it out of prison. Now, I had a partner. He had this guy named Gary Hawkins. He was making parole, but his parole was being held up because he didn't have nowhere to be released to. They needed an address. And I think all the halfway houses was filled up, because back then they had just started halfway houses in Texas. They didn't have no bed space, so he couldn't go there. He had to wait until the bed opened up. So this guy took it upon himself. He contacted his sister. His sister, he told Gary Hawkins, went to the parole office and told him, hey, I got me an address now. This guy allowed Gary to parole to his sister's house. His first day out at his sister's house, he raped his sister. He was arrested shortly thereafter, and he received a life sentence. Ironically, they sent him directly back to the same prison he was released to. He was standing out in the hallway, waiting to get interviewed by the warden. This guy walked up and killed his ass. Now, after he told the DA, and the investigators why he killed him, they were lenient toward him. They only gave him an additional 12 years. And that's leniency in Huntsville. Normally, for killing another inmate, if they're going to try you, normally you're going to get 50 or more years added onto your sentence. But back then, they still was running it concurrent. So you guys got to watch who you deal with and who you hang out with. It's a lot of cases where I've seen a guy say, "Hey man, drive me over here. I'll be in here about 5 or 10 minutes. I'll be right out. Wait on me." This guy sitting in the car don't know what the hell is going on. This fool going in and rob these people. Come back, get in the car. He say, "Okay, let's go." When they get busted, he got a murder case also, or robbery, and he didn't even know what was going on. He still got a robbery case under Texas law of parties. So it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. You must pay attention to who you hang out with, which I would tell a guy, the sun stands alone and it shines all the time. You know, it's bad you got to live that way, but you got to watch who you're dealing with. It's a lot of clucks out here. You know, on the outside, it's way more dangerous than the inside. If you're inside a maximum security prison, you can about figure out where an attack is coming from and who's going to attack you. Once you become institutional smart, you can figure it out. Out here, you can't. Anybody might attack. You're subject to attack at any moment. You don't never know when you'll be attacked. You know, especially if you live in an inner city neighborhood. It's a hell of a crime all over inner city neighborhoods in Dallas. I don't care where you go, you can't escape it. Now, you can go way out in the suburbs if you can afford to live out there, and you'll get away from the majority of it. Because most fools can't afford to live out there. But they done got so desperate, they taking the crime wave to the suburbs. They done got smart and say, "Hey, this where the people that got money." So they going out there and jack those people the same way. And you want to know why the cops stop you and search you, why they so aggressive. What you expect them to do? When you fit the profile of a robbery victim or a murder victim, you fit the same profile. You don't expect he's going to stop you and search you and run a check, run your name to see if you got warrants. He definitely going to do it. You know, people will say, "Well, it's racial profiling." Well, look who's committing all the crimes. What the hell you expect? You know, a lot of times, well, in a lot of videos, I'll be speaking on the warden at the Ramsey unit, Warden J.B. Anderson, whom we call Wildcat. That's how you address him. Wildcat, or you can just say cat, and he'll respond. You ain't have to say sir, mister. You ain't have to talk to him. You can talk to him like he's a regular convict. That's how he wants you to talk to him. Now, this man is hard, but if I had a choice of doing time and being under one of these modern day wardens, I'd much prefer to be under Wildcat. At least the man he gonna make sure you eat. You know you're gonna have to do your time, regardless of who the warden is or what prison you at. You gonna serve that time. But at least this man was fair in a lot of areas. The food was gonna be good, and he was gonna have a lot of privileges. He probably wanted to, well, there's some more ones that back then would do the same thing. Bring his family inside the inmate dining room and get a tray, go through the serving line just like inmates, and sit at a table and eat with the inmates with his wife and kids. And tell me if you ever seen a warden do that. He would, because he know the food is good. He's showing you, "Hey, I'm a free man. I'm the fucking senior warden here. If I can eat this food and my wife and kids can eat it, your ass can eat it." Because the food at that time at Ramsey, they put majority of restaurants to shame. These guys can cook. Everything on that serving line tasted good. Everything. You could get carrots. They would season them. I didn't never like beets, but hell, they could freak some beets out. And we could eat much as we wanted. That's a thing of the past. Now you don't even get dessert maybe once a week. They don't even give milk now. And one thing I liked about the older wardens, especially one like Cat or Warden Macmillan, at least you could defend yourself. And you ain't got to worry about getting the death penalty if you have to kill one of these clowns. They would tell you defend yourself. Do not let no guy run over you. Now here's a warden telling you that. All you need to do is execute. You know, you went and robbed these people on the outside. Nobody didn't tell you to do that, but you did that on your own. Okay, now you where's a lot of more tough guys at. You thought you was tough. Now you around some real tough guys, and you fold up. Yeah, I was at the Bill Clements unit up in Amarillo. Had a guy named we call Little Red, Red West. His sister's an attorney here in Dallas. Now, Little Red, he can't read and write. But his family got money and they looked out for him. This guy gonna keep a couple grand in his inmate account. Now, when he keeps a lot of commissary. What he would do is, he can't read and write, he would mark all his commissary. So one day he came in from the shoe factory. He slept a couple cubicles, we was in the dormitory. He slept a couple cubicles over from me. I saw him over there looking at his stuff. Well, he went and took a shower first, and he came back, opened his locker, looking at stuff. He came over there and told me, he said, hey man, somebody stole some of my canned goods. He looked over the rail, there's some guys sitting by the TV eating a big spread. So he don't say anything to him. He go down and look in the trash. Find cans of chili, tamales, roast beef, all got his mark on it. So he go to the table, he say, hey man, why y'all go up in my cubicle and steal my stuff, man? Why y'all do that, man? So they said, these guys are supposed to be Crips. One of them said, you ain't the only person here got money. It's more than you got money. A lot of people didn't like Little Red. He would make a big spread sometime, take 5 or 6 bites out of it, take the bowl, spoon, the food and all, and go throw it in the trash. 30 minutes later, go make another spread. He got it like that. He can do it. So he didn't say anything. He just walked away. He came back up to my cubicle. I'm sitting in there typing. He said, hey man, I'm gonna move on these fools. He said, make sure all my property get packed. He gave me the key to his locker. He went and got him a big ass blade. He went back down to the day room area. He started stabbing all 4 of them fools at the table. So they got cameras in these dorms. They look on the camera, they see a fight that's going on. We in D-Pod. So they call for fight. When all of them run out there, Little Red won't let him take the guy out. He told him, you can take him out when his ass is dead. He stabbed him up bad. He was trying to run around the dorm and catch the other guys, but they was running. This is a big ass dormitory. They would go upstairs. When he go upstairs, they would climb back down, run over on the other side, so he couldn't catch him. But that one fool, he got him good. He wasn't going nowhere. He was laying out in the middle of the day room, stabbed up, bleeding like a stuck pig. You know, Little Red go over there and check his pulse. Finally, after about 30 minutes, he saw the guy done bled out. He let the warden and him come in and get it. He handcuffed Little Red, take him to lockup. Now, he was serving a life sentence. This what made him change the sentencing scheme on inmates committing crimes inside of prison. They said, what can we do to people with life who got nothing to lose and they kill somebody? So they had changed the penal code where if you serving a life sentence and you kill someone, you eligible for the death penalty. It's capital murder. Now he received 60 years consecutive to the life sentence. So he got to serve the life sentence and the 60. Now he's out of administrative segregation. He's back in general population. But his case is one of the ones that made them change the law to make crimes committed inside of prison under certain circumstances capital murder. Now everybody in Texas know that Texas will put your ass on death row. They don't even play no games with you. And it is not necessary that you'll get your case overturned because they kill so many people in Texas. You know, it's pitiful. You can't even defend yourself now. A guy can just run over you, and you can't explain to one of these modern wardens or classification committees why you stabbed someone. Man, they don't even want to hear it. I don't care what this guy did to you. They don't want to hear your version of the facts. They don't want to hear it. Only thing you can do, if you prison smart, you can plan it where it won't come out of murder. You can plan it where it'll come out manslaughter. But sometimes, in the heat of a battle, you don't got time to make a plan. If you got to take this food to the cleaners, and you ain't got time to make a plan, you gotta react. You don't have, you past the planning stage. The only plan is to do him before he do you. But if you got time to plan it, it is ways where you can duck the death penalty. But you got to have an airtight plan. I'm going to later tomorrow, I'm going to go over to Boost Mobile and check Boost Mobile out and see is my phone compatible with Boost, because if you get a Boost Mobile plan, they also give you 30 gigabytes hotspot. So I'm going to go over there and check them out tomorrow and see how that works out. Y'all keep your shanks ready in case we got to move on these fools. And like and subscribe. And I thank you for watching.